Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into this video on the Zenwar channel. So today we're going to talk about the Trimurti avatar. So what is a Trimurti avatar? So if you listen to some of the other videos on this channel, you may have heard the concept or term of the Trimurti avatar. So, if you're not aware what an avatar is, I suggest looking into the Avatar doctrine, understanding what is an avatar. Okay, from what you can get from that information, at least, understanding exists at different levels. And what is a Trimurti avatar? So, as you may know, there is in Hinduism the concept of the Trimurti, which is basically the role of creator, protector, preserver, and destroyer of God, which takes different forms, right? And has different names also. So I've talked a lot about the names of God on this channel, and I do invite you to listen to that as well. So what is a Trimurti avatar? So, we have the concept of an avatar that will come, right? Here, a descent of God. And that can be different levels of an avatar as well. So what is a Trimurti avatar, right? An avatar is a descent of all of the function of God, the being of God that represent all those functions, right? So what you would potentially call Parashiva or Paravishnu, right? So basically the avatar of Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma, right? So that's one concept of the Trimurti avatar. Okay, one explanation of the Trimurti avatar. However, when we're talking about a Trimurti, we're talking about three, right? So what it actually manifests is three Trimurtis, right? So each three has its three is divided by three, right? So basically, the concept of a Trimurti avatar. So what is the next? The next Trimurti that is found is basically the Trimurti of the three faces of Shiva. Shiva Baram on Kailash mountain. So we have the face of Bara, we have the face of Baram, and the face of Savakasi, right? The three faces on the north face of Kailash mountain. In the center of the mountain at the base, right, you have the Damaru of Shiva, right, that rests on the shoulder of Shiva Baram, okay, which has three faces. So you have the next Trimurti aspect of that right there. Okay, the next one is basically at the level of the creation of my soul, right? So basically, when you look at the creation of the soul can be composed of different components, right, of different beings, right? So the concept of the avatar through the soul, the being entering a different body, a descent. So the soul becoming a component of the soul. So at the level of heaven, I've explained on this channel how my soul was created at the level of heaven and has a component, one part Buddha, right? A Buddha entered, the Archangel Raphael, and Shiva as well, Rudra as well in the sphere's form. So basically that's another Trimurti right there, right? And then on that third Trimurti, right, it brings to the fourth, right? It brings to the fourth aspect, the fourth component of the soul, which is the newly created soul, which was the story for the creation of the soul of Parashiva or Paravishnu. You can also just use the name Vishnu or Shiva, right? The descent of a Trimurti avatar and creation of the Trimurti avatar's soul, right? And then basically the three aspects of the Trimurti that reflected that, and those can be subdivided as well, but basically let's just leave it at that. So the concept of a Trimurti avatar. So what you have a Trimurti avatar is basically the being who has created this entire story, right? Who enters the story, right? Empowers it, preserves it, right? And also who destroys it at the end or allows it to continue and exist by leaving it energy for it to run when he returns to his other affairs, right? So you have the concept of the Trimurti avatar. Now you have a reason for the Trimurti avatar because the Trimurti avatar is the last avatar of God. Okay, the Trimurti avatar is also the one, when you remember, has the component of the Archangel Raphael, right? Also known as Israfil, the one who blows the trumpet. So when the Trimurti avatar comes in, that's the story of the judgment, right? That's the story of the Kalki avatar, the Vishnu avatar that comes in, all pervading avatar, right? That comes into the story, right? And basically does his avataric duties, or his story has his story as an avatar, basically, that takes place as part of the master story. And that story is part of the bringing of the judgment, right? The judgment of creation. So I've explained how I've explained the parameters of creation, how judgment can never become more than 53% evil, right? And the more it's good, the better, right? And it's a responsibility to work on for it being better and everybody being more good, right, versus evil, because that's what brings the preservation of creation. Because if you test the limit of creation, and everybody is not conscious and striving to be good, right? You put it in jeopardy creation, because creation cannot be allowed to go bad, right? So you have the first judgment day, which takes place at the moment of the death of the avatar, right? At that point, it's the review of creation, the first day of judgment, right? And then if you pass the second day of judgment, if creation is not stopped at the first day of judgment, right, at that point, then it becomes, if creation goes bad, and God looks over creation as a Shri, as Bhagwan basically looks over creation, and basically the story goes on eternally, as we all exist on the caravan of God. Okay, so you have the explanation of a Trimurti avatar, and how the Trimurti actually has 3 Trimurtis within it, right? And a little bit more about the Trimurti avatar. So I hope this information was useful to you, if you that it was something that interested you. And if you did enjoy this video, please click like, subscribe, and share this video. And please do the same for all the videos on this channel, as these videos do bring the light of God, and it's important for the knowledge of God, which is the light, right? The knowledge is the light, to be shared with as many people as we can, because it's the knowledge of God that, as it descends at different lokas of existence, brings peace in creation, like the drop in Brahman, the drop of intention of God, and the ripple that brings peace and prosperity as the knowledge of God spreads through the loka. So it's a responsibility for us to spread that knowledge of God, and the faster we spread it, the faster we can have peace and prosperity and have an enlightened society, right? So it's our responsibility to share this knowledge, and not just to share it and just to talk about it, but to live that knowledge, to live that truth, right? And to understand that God created everyone and cares about everyone, and that we also take care of God by taking care of ourselves, right? And basically by looking out for others too, right? And we look out for the goddess in the same way as well. Okay, so thanks for listening, and have a great one.